Namaste, Jai Bharat. My Prime Minister is in Israel, and the way he is welcomed is not just amazing, but is very, very unprecedented. Words, that is Shakespeare, the words really don't surrender the matter. And this, of course, is from one of his plays. Father, I love you more than what the words can surrender the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space and liberty, etc. So here, what we see in Israel Parliament is, you cannot put that into words. And there is no pretension. There is no show. It's transparency, trust, and straightforward love and friendship. Such kind of relations you don't find in present day's geopolitics. They both Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and my Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they talked about the historic relations, historic friendship, and there's an underlying history behind it. It's for people to do research and find out. Why the Jews are dear to Hindus, there's a reason. But what practically is present is why the Jews are dear to Hindus and why the Hindus are dear to Jews is not just because of one Jamnagar king, Jam Babu, and a shipload of Polish Jews who happened to reach Gujarat coast, which is not really popular outside Gujarat. Of course, here we know it very well. Jambabu's story, we know. One shipload of Jews, which was not allowed to anchor anywhere in the world, reaches the coast of Gujarat. And the rest is history. They even have a street named after Jambabu. That's none other than the Jamnagar king. So that relation is there. But the tradition is there, history is there. But the way Prime Minister Netanyahu expresses unconditional love for the nation of Bharat through Prime Minister Narendra Modi is just, well, I told you, words cannot express it. That kind of intense emotions. If you look at the proceedings, how many times the members of parliament stood up and clapped hands for how long? Nobody asked them to stand up. Nobody has instructed them to stand up. That is the sincerity, the openness of those people. Nobody is asking them to stand up, but they do stand up. And the way my Prime Minister presented himself and the Prime Minister of Israel presented himself is just one of a kind in the entire world. And interestingly, how he is received, no protocol, nothing. You have seen the state heads when they meet, they keep their hands and keep shaking it for quite some time. But here, it is a heart to heart. You just hug. And that made Modi hug famous in the world, who is transparent with Bharat. The world should mark this. That's the transparency of Bharat. We are not coming to befriend you to get something from you. We help, you help. That's normal ethics. Where you can't help, it's all right. That doesn't stop us from helping you if we can. And the Prime Minister's wife, that's of course obviously Israeli Prime Minister's wife, I think her name is Zara. She wore saffron dress. Saffron colored dress. Don't you think that sends a message to the world? And then, of course, there are many deals, many deals. Defense deals. One should not try to know the details of defense deals, because every time, a defense deal is supposed to be confidential, classified, because it shall compromise national security. So I don't know, because I will not try to know. And even if I know, I will not speak. That's as simple as that. Then trade, of course. They will hit. Nothing is signed. Signing maybe tomorrow. Trade must be signed. And this one can speak. Technology and technology transfer. Then joint ventures. Maybe it's weapons, maybe it is something else. But Israel would make in Bharat. They will train our technicians, they will give the technology, but produce it in Bharat for various reasons. First of all, here we have more space, facilities, and manpower, and that's not expensive. Our whole production won't be expensive. So it benefits them, it benefits us. So that's kind of understanding with Israel Bharat has always. It's nothing new. So they will in time start making, because they can trust us. We will not betray them. So technology transfer. Then of course agriculture. My God, these Jews are masters of agriculture. They have done this wonder of turning desert to garden. That's impossible. All kinds of novel techniques in irrigation they have invented, created, and of course gave to the world those who want. So they will help us with agriculture, which we need. We are basically a agrarian country. And then there are some talks about iron dome and iron beam and all kinds of things which we are not supposed to know. When the government say, of course, we can repeat, but beyond that, let us not speculate. That goes against the interest of my national security, and therefore, obviously, the Israel's national security. They are more vulnerable than us. They are surrounded with friends in capital letters and in red color. They are a great society, great people who have been fighting against the world for all 2000 years plus. And there was a time, Exodus, and there was a time the Jewish community was persecuted in the entire world. And the only place in the entire world where they were loved, received, protected, and became one with is the Hindu nation. It's only the Hindu society, let me say correct, with in capital letters, it's only the Hindus who accepted them unconditionally. They came, lived among the Hindus in Bharat, became one with us, and when an opportunity came, when they got their motherland back, many people went back. Now, of course, less than 4,000 live. And there is a Lieutenant General Jacobs in Indian Army. If you look, when Pakistan is surrendering to Aurora General, that's East Pakistan, 93,000 of Pakistani soldiers spell Pakistan, they are number one army, not number, number one army, who are greatly courageous, and they have all those narratives. And unfortunately, those people in Pakistan believe in them. 93,000 were surrendered, and there was a Jew who is instrumental to this. That was Lieutenant General Jacobs. In fact, he is standing right behind General Aurora. He had not come, of course, one rank senior is Aurora, Lieutenant General, Major General, of course. Next was Jacobs. Jacob could have gone back to Israel when Israel was evolving, got freedom almost same time. But Jacob chose to live in Bharat. He continued as a Jew and passed away as Jew. And about 1.5 kilometers away from where I live, there's a Jewish cemetery, Gujarat. And people, there are no Jews around me now, but people, their relatives, descendants come to the cemetery during occasions, visit and go back. And we preserve the Jamaican cemetery. We haven't destroyed it. This is a Jewish cemetery. So that's the relationship between Israel and Bharat. Nothing new. That's historical. Nothing new. That is cultural. Nothing new. That is transparent. Nothing new. It's pure love like God. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Siya Ram.